A production assistant, or PA, is an entry-level position on a television, commercial, film, or digital production set.
You can expect to lift, drive, wrangle, communicate, and even babysit.
We're going to tell you all about it now.
Let's get into it.
So we get asked all the time how you get started in the film industry. And whether you're going to go the film school route or the indie route, the answer is the same. There's no substitute for experience, and that starts as a production assistant.
All sets are different, but let's talk about what we would expect you to do if you were on one of our sets.
Yep, cool. So Jack, you started as a PA.
I did, yep.
So if I want to become a PA, what might be expected of me on an average day?
Well, basically, you're an extra pair of hands, eyes, and ears on a production. You don't need to be an expert filmmaker, but be ready to do lots of different things.
All right, cool. Okay, so going through our list, the first specific task you can expect to do is a lot of lifting.
That's right, yeah.
So that can include loading and unloading gear out of vehicles, carrying the equipment from the vehicles to the set. So this means dragging it down streets, up and down stairs, through windows, I don't know, through skylights, literally anywhere that the gear might have to go, you're going to be expected to be able to move that. So the general skills, I think, I don't know about you, but what I would say is flight cases can be up to 70 pounds.
They can, yep.
And we max that all the time.
We do.
So if you're wondering what skills you need, you should be able to lift at least 70 pounds.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, what's next?
The next thing is driving. So be prepared to move all sorts of different vehicles because you never know what you're going to be driving that day. Doing supply runs, that happens a lot. Picking up the talent or the director. Parking, make sure you got good parallel parking skills because, I mean, you do that in your G2 test, so make sure you got good parking skills. In Washington, this is a specific example. We were shooting an on-the-go sort of thing, and one of our PAs was actually circling the block near the White House.
Yeah, no parking, so it was just circle, circle, circle while we got it done.
That's right.
Now, when you first got on some sets,
yes.
You didn't know what you were driving, so what kind of cars did you have to drive?
Oh, be prepared to drive anything. From a mix of cube vans to smaller cars, bigger SUVs, trucks, just
we usually rent SUVs, right? And this is where, we like to hire local.
Yeah, we do.
So knowledge of the area is so important. Like recently on a shoot in New York, we thought it was going to be a great idea to go in Times Square and shoot. If it wasn't for the PA, we never would have made our day.
That's right.
So, all right, so next thing is wrangling. What does wrangling mean? It means just getting shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Supply runs, grabbing equipment from the cases. Like, can you go and grab me a battery, whichever. Finding the cast and crew, if you have wandering directors, not naming names, but you get people who are just wandering off. Can you please go wrangle this person, get them back to where they need to be? Organizing coffee runs.
Yes.
I mean, that's big. I'm constantly losing my coffee on set, so just sort of knowing where we're putting stuff is great.
Exactly, yeah.
And if you're on a smaller set and there's not craft services, organizing meals.
Yes.
So, and that's something at the top of the day the unit manager will explain. Just go grab everybody's order.
Yes.
So again, skills, know the area. If you need to run out to Home Depot or Staples or whatever it is, that's a big plus. Basic knowledge of the gear. Again, like you said, you don't need to be a filmmaker, but you should know, I asked for sticks, bring me the sticks one time, and the PA literally brought me a pile of sticks.
Yeah.
That's a tripod. We'll go over that in later videos.
Yeah.
And listen and write things down.
Yeah.
Right? Because I could ask you to do something.
Exactly.
You go to do it, 10 people ask you things you forget. So pen and paper are your best friend.
That's the only thing you should be using your phone for. Use notes if you don't have a pen and paper.
Gotcha. Okay, so next thing.
Communicating is the next thing. So sometimes as a PA, you're going to be directing traffic. People, vehicles, and equipment. You need to tell everyone where it's going.
Yep.
So be prepared for that.
Yeah, and that's not that's not something we'd use a director for. To welcome people to the set and tell them where to park. That's a PA job.
Yeah. The next thing is getting release forms filled out. So be prepared for it's mainly the producer that will give you the forms to fill out, so be prepared for that.
It could be release forms, location releases. They'll usually hand you a pile of paperwork, even sides unscripted, make sure people get these bits of paper. So.
And overall general communication between all departments.
Yeah. Any other skills for communicating?
Yes, let's go over some skills. Like I said, friendly and positive attitude before is number one. That's going to go a long way.
It really is.
It is. Next, confidence to ask questions. I mean, I feel like I struggled with this a lot. When I first started, I'm a pretty shy guy when it comes to being on set. You know,
Yeah.
I like doing what I'm meant to do. But if you don't know what's going on, please ask.
Yeah, for sure. Because if you don't understand the instructions, it's going to be hard to relay that to the rest of the
Yes.
cast and crew.
Yep.
All right, good. So the final thing we talked about is babysitting. Now, there's actually, I mean, sometimes there might be a baby on set.
Yeah, you
but,
never know.
But not on anything I've done. So babysitting, it's things like, you know, watch this camera. The crew's going to do something. We call that fire watch. So make sure the gear doesn't get touched or stolen.
Yep.
Again, cast and sometimes directors. Yeah, you got to have somebody who's make sure the director gets the set on time, make sure you're escorting the talent.
Yeah.
Guarding a parking spot happens all the time.
It really does. Yeah.
Here's you, here's a cone. Don't let anybody take this parking spot.
Especially working if you're in downtown Toronto or something like that. It's stressful.
We just had it. We were trying to park a giant food truck in
Yep.
3 spaces, and sure enough, the poor PA had to fight for the parking space.
Exactly.
It happens. And then standing or sitting in, not really babysitting, but we use this all the time. If we ask you to stand or sit in, we're setting lightings, we're setting camera. You might just have to just sit there and
Yep.
pretend you're the talent for a long time.
Yeah.
In Memphis, the person sat there for probably an hour.
Yeah, holding a guitar.
Holding
Sorry,
a guitar.
It had to be done.
So again, skills, good attitude, patience, and stamina. These are long days,
Yeah.
and you know the old saying in Hollywood is "hurry up and wait."
Yeah.
You might be sitting for hours and then going like hell for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's what a PA does. In our next video, we're going to show you the essential items you, as a production assistant, should bring with you to set.
So subscribe to watch all of our future content.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, leave a comment below, and we'll be sure to chat.
See you on set.